everyone. Welcome back to Don't Blame the Movies. I'm your host, Nicole, and with me, as always, is Dooney. Say hello.
Hello.
So we decided to come back and do a review on one of the most anticipated films that I don't know that I've been waiting for. I'm sure you have too. Is
Oh
Ghostbusters
yes.
Afterlife?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yes, yes. So it's been what, over a week now or so since the movie's been out?
Think it was actually, was it 2 weeks or 1 week? I think
Maybe.
I think it was 2 weeks almost.
Well, so hopefully everybody's seen it by now, and if they haven't, spoilers.
Oh yes,
Heads up.
so many
So
spoilers.
so you have been warned, and so you can't come after us for spoiling the movie. So it should actually be named "Don't Blame Nicole and Dooney."
Mostly don't blame Nicole.
Exactly. Always blame Dooney. Okay.
No, I'm not to blame for her because I have nothing. You're always like, oh, and do you remember this movie where this happened? And I was like, nice, now I have to add this movie to the spoiler list in the beginning.
um,
Yeah.
okay. So let's talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Uh, First things first. This
What?
is, I think I mentioned it before, it's a weird thing we do over here in Austria and in Germany. Over here, it's not called Ghostbusters Afterlife.
What's it called?
It's called Ghostbusters Legacy.
Hmm.
And I have no idea why. Because legacy
Neither.
is an English word as well. So technically, they could use Afterlife and it wouldn't make a difference. But nope, legacy is shorter. Let's take this instead. It's so dumb.
Who knows why they do what they do?
I think not even them, not even they know what they do. They're just like, oh, legacy, but it's called Afterlife Legacy. Fine.
That's I don't know. That's cool. Like I don't know. Does that confuse you with the names?
A little bit because I think when I looked up to the movie poster for Legacy to post it in
Mm-hmm.
my Instagram stories with my rating, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, Ghostbusters Legacy, go, and then it was like Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I was like, huh? Did I look for the wrong movie? And I checked. Oh, okay, I got it. We're weird again.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 Did you want to talk about the movie now?
We can talk about the movie.
um, okay, so where should we start? I think you should start. What you liked about it? Yeah, let's talk about that. What did you like about the movie?
Oh, what did I like about the movie? It's actually a good question. I liked a lot about the movie. Basically, that it started slow. That it was not well. Okay, this is weird to phrase. I just put it this way, okay? Um, this movie in the Ghostbusters franchise is the same thing as The Force Awakens in the Star Wars franchise.
You
So,
know, it's funny.
huh?
I've been hearing that a lot
Oh,
about this one.
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot about it. The Force Awakens gets mentioned a lot,
Oh, okay.
as in comparison. So, and I'm okay with that. So, continue.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty okay with it too. Um, I just want to say it's like because it's well technically it's the same core story. Like The Force Awakens was the same core story as A New Hope, and here we
Mm-hmm.
have the same core story as in Ghostbusters One.
Mm-hmm.
Except here it's not the let's call it the main Ghostbusters anymore, like the OG Ghostbusters. Now we're two generations further, and these are let's call them the new Ghostbusters now, like the granddaughter of
The new generation.
yeah. And to be honest, when they all get together, it took me a while to realize this, that, oh, I mean, the granddaughter of Egon, it's obvious who she is in the, let's call it, new generation. But then I noticed, and this is, okay, this is Dan Aykroyd's character, this is Bill Murray's character, this is Ernie Hudson's character. And then it clicked. And then I think you mentioned it as well, so like, oh, this was him in young, and this was him in young, and oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I said it kind of like sets up the basis. I'm like, you can already tell who's going to be who if they do continue on with this for future generation, and if they stick with these same kids, you could already tell that Phoebe is an Egon spot, like her granddad.
Yeah.
Trevor is definitely the ladies' man, or trying to be. Peter Venkman. Podcast is definitely Ray.
Yeah.
And then you have Lucky, who she is in it, but she kind of joins more towards the end, if you think about it, part of the crew, because she didn't really like believe what was going on. You can tell that she was oh my god, I was going to forget his name. Winston.
Yeah, okay. This is also true to the, let's call it, the main core of Ghostbusters 1, because Winston also joined the crew later.
He did. He definitely did. And so I just feel like if go ahead, sorry.
Sorry. I just remembered, and if I remember correctly, he said, yeah, I don't really care about all this bullshit, but if you pay me, then I believe everything you just said to Janine. Like when he said, I believe in ghosts, extraterrestrials, blah, blah, blah.
That's so true. He said that in the first movie. He was like, as long as it like has like a paycheck, I'm okay with whatever, you know? Exactly. And it's kind of funny because Lucky has that same kind of personality, if you think about it, to that extent. Because like it's almost like she was like kind of a skeptic too. And then obviously when she saw things, it was like, okay, this stuff is real. So kind of to back up, I wanted to say that I love the opening scene to this movie because you know that was Egon right off the bat. That was like chills. And then the fact that they used the same music from the original, like the original score, I loved it.
Oh yeah, so much.
Like every scene, I was just like, oh my god, this is from Ghostbusters, the OG. Because like me, myself, being a huge fan of the OG Ghostbusters, I like was like super excited to hear the music and then see Egon on screen, and then he dies. But it's kind of like, I have to say that I like how they paid like homage to a lot of the old school Ghostbusters. Like they had some like little things here and there. So like for example, the chair in the beginning where Egon's sitting in with the hands all coming out, and you're like, oh okay, this kind of reminds you of the first one with Dana where she's in the chair.
Yeah, exactly.
There were things that I didn't like that they used again, though. I didn't like that they used a lot of the same lines.
Yeah, but we will get to this later. Let's talk about what we liked, and then later we go to what we didn't like.
Absolutely love Paul Rudd. Thought he did a great job in it. He was kind of a little bit of a comic relief along with podcasts. But I do have to say, I do have to say one of my like favorite scenes, honestly, in this movie is when I love when Trevor fixes the car with the help, obviously, of his grandpa, Egon, because he did a little wire thing, and like and I just loved how he gets into Ecto 1 and just the way how he drives through the whole field, and then like it was just like it was so cool because like, you know, when you watch Ghostbusters, you see so they do like these. They get into the car and they do a little bit of chase, but it's not really that much. It's like they drive the car to a place and then they get out of the car. So this is like the first time that you actually got to see them using the car and like seeing features that we didn't know. So like had a gunner seat in the car. They had that remote control trap that came out. Like I thought that whole like scene from that into going into the town and destroying the town was pretty cool.
Yeah. But since you mentioned it earlier, the music and everything gave you chills. To be honest, took a while until I got my first real nice chill moment.
Mm-hmm.
And this was for me when they escaped the police station with the car, and for the first time they activated the horn and everything, like the real old school wow wow. It's like, yes, this is my car.
That's true. That was actually pretty cool too. I just like I don't know. I felt that they did a pretty good job there. Like I know there's a lot of things that I didn't like, and I know people were. So since the movie came out, everybody was asking my opinion on it, and it was kind of like I didn't want to give away spoilers to people. I'm like I liked it, I enjoyed it, but there are things that I would have wanted differently, if that makes sense. But you don't want to talk about that part yet.
No.
I did love that they have. I love the dogs, the demon dogs. And I love the scene in Walmart where he's like mowing down on the dog food. And I kind of laughed. And actually, this part is funny because in my head, I was like, oh my God, it's Jax. And sure enough, it's true. Jax, if you leave a bag of dog food open, or if you leave the pantry door open where the dog food is, like the containers, he opens them up and he just goes in there like that and will eat out of it like that. So it was kind of funny. So some people, they told me after, like I got messages on my Instagram, text messages from people, hey, I just saw Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then why did the demon dogs remind me of Jax? And I'm like, yep, those are my boys. But they're not mean like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
They're big, cuddly, sucky babes, but like just like the stupid things. And even like when oh my goodness, there's like somebody's destroying the house over here. Okay. Guys, so I like the part where he's like Paul Rudd's character is running out of Walmart and the demon dog is chasing him, and he like dives through his windshield because there's no windshield there anymore, and the dog like sits on top of his car and clearly like pops the tire. I hear. But I will tell you this, that part was predictable. Once I knew the demon dogs were there, and once you kind of got introduced to Paul Rudd's character and obviously Phoebe and Trevor's mom, you kind of knew off bat they were going to be the keymaster and the gatekeeper. You knew that right off.
Definitely.
Right off the bat. So yeah, definitely knew that. Definitely loved the little marshmallow men.
Yeah, they were cute.
They were. You know what though? I'm happy they didn't make them solely in every part of the movie, because sometimes it can be overdone, right?
I mean, they were still present in the movie, like in the car and everything. But it was never. Let's call it. It was never annoying.
No, because like sometimes it can be overdone in some movies where like they're trying to make something super cute. Like, okay, for example, totally different movie. Hangover. The first Hangover was really great. And then they bring out the second and third, and like they relied a lot on Zach's character to be like the comic relief, but then I think they kind of overdid it. So I'm happy they didn't overdo it with the Marshmallow Men. They were super cute though.
Well, that's an comparison. But okay, wow.
Because sometimes, like, when there's, like, a character or something in a movie or a series or whatever that people absolutely love, and sometimes they make it centered around them, and that's what I thought in that movie. They did too much with it. Whereas I'm glad it wasn't too much with the little Stay Puft Marshmallow. It's just, like, a little bit, here and there. Like, little clips of it. And it was super cute.
Yeah, I get it. You even have this Christmas tree ornament with, I think, 3... Stay Puft Marshmallow thingies.
I do. It's super cute. I absolutely love it. I saw that they were releasing them, and I remember going to Hallmark in the summertime because usually they get their Christmas ornaments there. And I asked the girl behind the counter, and she looked at me like I was like out of this world. She's just like, I've never heard of these. She's like, look, here's our Christmas catalog. She's like, they're not even in here. She goes, you're the second person that asked about them today. Like, she's like, no, I don't think, she's like, I don't think we're getting them. She goes, maybe check back in another month. Well, sure enough, I found it online. It was like, bam. And then they actually, Hallmark did get them. So I was happy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So what did you, go ahead.
Yeah, here's one thing I already know I like, but you didn't like. And this is the time the original cast got in this movie. Because I liked it that they had, well, it was more than a cameo, but I liked it that they were not the main focus of this movie. Like they really just stepped in and were like, hey, we are still here, we're still hunting ghosts, but we're old and shit, and so it's your turn now, bye.
Yeah, I get it. It's like taking place with the new generation, the grandkids, but I wanted more of them. I didn't want the cameo. I just wanted like to see more of them. I will say this, as much as I love Bill Murray, and he looked like he aged pretty shitty the way how they had him. He and Dan Aykroyd, and I love Dan Aykroyd too. And then the only one that looked great between the three of them was Ernie. and the funny thing is, because I recorded a podcast yesterday, guest starred on that, and we talked about that briefly. And he pointed out that think about it, they probably drove from New York. He said that was probably a long drive, and there were probably no bathrooms with showers in it where they could just like freshen up. So I was like, okay, good point. You got me there. It was great to see them, to show up. I was waiting for them.
Since you mentioned it, when you give me the link for the podcast you recorded yesterday, then I'll put this link in the description as well, so people can hear the podcast of you and this British guy. Damn it, I forgot his name. Matt? Was it Matt?
It's Matt, and his podcast is What I Watched Tonight.
Yeah. Because I thought, well, it's if you record with him, then we should feature him and link him as well. So yeah.
Of course, let's do that.
Yeah.
We'll gladly link it. But yeah, so we had like a whole conversation on that, and he pointed that out, and I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Probably didn't have the chance to freshen up before they made that big entrance. And there was like another thing I questioned, because at one point when Phoebe calls Ray, and a part of me with that whole conversation when she was on the phone with him, she wants to talk about Egon, but she doesn't tell Ray until the end that I'm his granddaughter. Like, why wouldn't you start off with that? Hey, I'm Egon's granddaughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but she didn't. But she, like, do you think if she would have started off with that? Because we had this conversation yesterday. Do you think Ray would have reacted differently? Do you think that he would have been nicer or not as rude and abrupt in the beginning?
Well,
because you know how go ahead, sorry.
No, go on.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say, well, I thought about this as well, and I was like, well, she just know that Egon was estranged from everyone, like his daughter, his friends, everyone. He was like this lonely weirdo in this town and everything. So maybe she did it to find out what happened actually. Like if she says, "Hey, I'm Egan's granddaughter," and he was like, "Oh, this motherfucker just fuck you," and hangs up. You know what I mean? So maybe she just tried to find out what happened, if they are on bad terms or just like a little bit pissed off, like friends sometimes are. So yeah. I think that's what happened there.
And here was the other thing that I questioned. During that phone conversation, he said that Egon took Ecto-1, took the proton pack. But, like, going back, I don't know if he took everything because how the guys just showed up with their proton packs and their stuff. So I'm like, did they still have their things, or did Egon take it all? And if he took it all, how did they end up with it? Kind of a thing.
No, I think he only took his stuff and like Actor 1 and some other stuff. Like, if you have a proton pack, you probably have it. Like, they had a fight or something earlier before Egon took it, and so it's likely that they didn't stay or sleep and then in the fire department, like in the Ghostbusters building anymore. Maybe they all slept separated in their own homes and stuff like this, and so maybe they took the proton packs with them home after they had an assignment or something like this.
Who knows? You never know. It's the mystery of the movie.
Spooky.
They definitely pegged him out to be a complete asshole, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but to be honest, it was really obvious that he is not, because first of all, it's Egon, and second of all, like the actor Harold Ramis is died, unfortunately, and so they wouldn't go like, yeah, Egon was an asshole, go fuck yourself. Of course, they would have an redemption arc in the end. They're like, oh, Egon was a good guy after all. He tried to protect us and stuff like this. So, yeah, this was pretty obvious, to be honest. At least for me, it was.
I'm sure for some people it wasn't. You never know.
Yeah. But one thing I have to say is his daughter, already forgot her name, like the mother of Phoebe. Was it? No, it's not Karen.
Callie.
Was it Callie? Really?
Like Callie, like Callie. Callie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I didn't really like this character a lot. Like, it was
I
like,
didn't either.
Give me Dana back.
She got under my skin.
Yeah.
Like, she annoyed me. Like, I felt like, okay, so in the beginning when we see her, you can tell, like, they're going through hardship. Like, you know, she doesn't have the money for rent. You know, she's trying to be a good mother. And then you come to find out who she's the daughter of. And you're like, which was pretty obvious from the get-go. But kind of like daddy issues. And she has, like, a lot of anger. And her character just kind of... It just rubbed me the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like she was trying too hard to be, like, this badass. And, like, I don't know. I just didn't like it. And then, but I think she did a well job playing this character to bug the crap out of me. I will say that.
Well, if this was the intention, then, yeah, she did a good job.
And if you think about it, I didn't really like, okay, so then like, she goes to the small town. And then she meets Paul Rudd. And then he's, like, trying not to give up on her, trying to date her. And my thing is, they're in a small town. It's probably slim pickings. So, you know, it's like, take what you can get kind of a thing. She's fresh, she's new. I'm going to take my chance with it. Not going to give up on it. She's new in the town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody. Just because, like, he's, like, this cool, calm, relaxed guy. And you got her who's got, like, she's kind of a brute. She's, like, you know, rough around the edges. She's like, it just drove me nuts. And then, like, I will tell you this, I did not like that she used Dana's line. I did not like that whatsoever. That drove me nuts.
This is something I thought as well, was like, oh, okay, come on. I mean, I get it, but no.
Yeah, it was no, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, there were some areas where, okay, so the line that they used with Ray at the end, are you a god? I laughed, and it's kind of like, okay, that part works. But there is no mom, there's only Zool. I'm like, okay, I get it, you're the demon dog, and maybe your vocabulary is not as wide, but still, why?
Yeah.
Why? That's not your line.
But to be honest, I laughed a little bit more when this Are You a God scene happened. And the look on Bill Murray's face, like, come on, say the right thing this time.
It kind of gave him redemption for it. So, Yeah, I just didn't like her line, and she drove me nuts. She was the only character that bugged me this whole movie. I didn't really like her character at all,
Yeah.
but she did a great job playing it.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, if this was the intention, then yeah, she did a good job.
It's kind of bad. I'm like, she's kind of almost the Walter Peck, but not really, because Walter Peck was such an asshole in the first Ghostbusters. But really, she's just a mom trying to make it. You know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah,
but Walter Peck bugged me.
Yeah, but it kind of makes sense if you think about it. The two of them are the same person, because the two of them both have no dick.
This is true. Sorry, I'm having a piece of chocolate.
Of course.
My esthetician gave it to me, so I was like, oh, that's right, it's in my purse. It's so unprofessional. It's really good.
Well, one thing I still have to say what I liked is... I try to say this nicely. It didn't suck as much as the 16 movie, 15 movie, like the female Ghostbusters. I was so happy that this was a good Ghostbusters movie. Finally, again. And of course, I think where everyone will agree is, of course, the ending. Everyone liked when all four of them fought the ghost and stood next to each other.
Let's back it up a bit. So they brought Gozer in. What did you think of Gozer?
It's like, meh. Okay. It's like, I don't know. He or she looked better in the original. It's like, okay, you try. I see what you do here. It's fine. Okay. It's just okay. It's like, I didn't hate it. I didn't really like it. It's like, okay.
I wish they had more of Gozer.
Nah.
More of the story with Gozer. Because it was like, bam, 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 bam. Gozer's in like the last little bit. Just like the first movie, the original. But at least with the original, you kind of build up to it. I get what they were trying to do with this one, but I felt it happened too fast. And I don't know. I think she did a great job as Gozer, don't get me wrong. But her outfit is like new and improved. Her makeup was completely different from the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
Like this outfit was more like spikes and like it was like lit up and everything, whereas her outfit in the first one was like a leotard with like bubbles on it, you know?
Well, to be fair, there's some time between the movies, and yeah, some things change.
Sorry, chocolate. They did like a...
It's not even 30 minutes in this podcast, and you already... Oh, chocolate. Oh, no.
What do you want from me?
Not to eat chocolate when we are recording.
We were talking about the Marshmallow Men, and when I saw them, I wanted s'mores. So anyway,
I know this is I know this is shocking right now, but I have no idea what s'mores is.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we have.
So did you
question
in the movie what was happening when he was laying on a graham cracker, and the chocolate was being melted on top of him? That's a s'more.
Oh, okay.
I
just thought, well, that's random, but looks tasty.
It is very tasty. So you got 2 graham cracker. Oh my god. 2 graham crackers.
Speak slowly.
2 graham crackers.
Okay.
And then you put a chocolate. You're killing me, Smalls. I'm sure people who watch Sandlot will know what I mean there. So you got your 2 graham crackers. You put your chocolate there, and then you stick a marshmallow on It can be on the fire. You toast it up, like to kind of melt it, make it gooey. And then once it gets to a certain point, you put it in between the graham cracker and the chocolate and the marshmallow. All goes together like a nice little sandwich, and it is chef's kiss. It's amazing. I love it. It's like a good like summer treat. So
okay.
I can't believe you've never had one. So
Well,
you're missing out.
Well, I think I told you this before, but we don't really have marshmallows over here as well. So, yeah.
You did tell me that.
Yeah, see? Then it's not a surprise we don't have this s'mores thingy.
You poor child.
But at least we have corn on pizza. Yay.
Yeah, let's continue on, not talk about that abomination.
Weirdo.
So, I'm the weirdo. Corn on pizza. Anyway.
I have no idea what's good. It's so good. Anyway.
So yes, the ending of the movie, it was kind of tear jerker, if you think about it.
So much.
Now, when you were in the theater, were people crying when you saw it or no?
Well, when I was in the theater, we were like 10 or 12 people over there. So, and we all sat pretty wide, far away from each other.
Okay, so you wouldn't have known it.
I don't know if anyone cried, but I don't think so. Maybe some sniffles, but I heard nobody cry out loud. This is the saddest thing that ever happened.
Did you cry?
That's not the point.
Did you cry?
I didn't hear them because I cried so loud.
So you cried?
No, but to be honest, my eyes got a little bit. Oh my god, that's so sad. Well, it's not sad. It's actually happy. But I think I would have been pretty good with everything. But the last, let's call it the last sucker punch I got from this movie. And at the end, there was like, for Harold, it's like, oh yeah, he's dead. But that's so cute.
I got a little bit, and then I was like, okay. I pinched myself. I'm like, don't cry. It's so sad. Don't cry. It's like a happy sad. So I didn't end up crying.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. A happy sad.
Yeah, because like it was great to see it together.
Yes.
I did have someone mention, like a kid in the movie theater was like, why isn't he talking? And you know what? I thought about that, and I was like, I'm happy they didn't make him talk.
Oh yeah.
I think it was better left unsaid, where he just like did his little nod. He said his goodbyes. You know, he hugged them. You know, and you know, Ray and them were just like, hey, I'm sorry I called you this, or sorry about this. Sorry, whatever. They apologized. And he just nodded and kind of smiled like, yeah, I know. Like, you guys didn't know. You didn't, whatever. So I think if he would have talked, it would have ruined that whole moment.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think if they would have make him talk, it's like it would have sounded weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I think so too.
How? I mean, of course, now with technology and everything, you can listen to old recordings and probably create the real voice out of it, but it still would sound wrong.
Yeah, most definitely. I just like the way how they had it. I think it was the best thing.
Yes.
That way.
Definitely.
Now, curious question.
Yes.
Let's talk about what you didn't like about it.
Yeah, I think we scratched it. It's like the whole Phoebe's mom thing. Like, I didn't like her character, so maybe it was intentional, maybe not, who knows. But then there's no mom, only Soul. It's like, okay, we got it. It's like the first movie. You don't have to repeat everything.
Yeah. It's
And
true.
I think I don't really have any more main, really big criticism about this movie. Let me think about it. Well, I mean, like you said at the end with Goza and everything, that it felt so rushed. It was like, yeah, I get it, because the movie was already pretty long. I think it is over 2 hours. And if they still had dragged out the scenes with him, it was like, I don't know, 2.5 hours or even more. I think that would have been too much, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
Hmm.
I think the it's hard to tell what the target audience for this movie is. I think the target audience would be, of course, the fans of the old movie, and on the other hand, you want to attract a young audience, a new audience. That's why you had this kid from Stranger Things in it, because everybody
Mm-hmm.
likes Stranger Things, and
Yeah.
and I
Love it. Can't wait for the new season. Sorry, continue on.
And I think like a teen or something around, let's call it 13, maybe 14 years, it's a little bit difficult for him to sit through a 2.5 hour movie like this.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, I get why they said, okay, it's already over 2 hours long, let's just end it. Because I think otherwise it would have been too long.
Okay, so for me as a Ghostbuster, like huge fan, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoyed it. There was like things that I would change. I like I said over and over again, I wish the OGs were in a little bit longer, not just a cameo. And what would have made the best thing ever, you have no idea. Who I would have loved to have seen back
Oh yeah, I know.
in Ghostbusters is if he just made one little small appearance, just like walked in on the set. Rick Moranis would have been great.
Yeah.
I understand why he's not in Hollywood or anymore, why he's doing his thing. Good on him. I think all of us like Ghostbuster fans would be like, oh my god, we finally saw him. Like I think everybody would be like, oh my god, he made an appearance, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That would have been so awesome if he did, but unfortunately he didn't. So, there was another thing I wanted to say, but I'm like drawing a blank. I don't know why I went there. But yeah, like it was still kind of great to still see the guys in it. Otherwise, and Janine back in it.
Yes.
The one, okay, now I remember. So the one thing, okay, when I was a kid and I watched the original Ghostbusters,
Yes.
absolutely loved it. I was never scared of the terror dogs. Thought Slimer was cool. Everything I thought was cool. The only thing that scared me as a kid, and they brought him back in this one. Okay, so the taxi cab driver. Do you remember him? He's like that zombie skeleton looking thing.
Oh yeah.
They brought him back in this one. He's in the freaking
yes.
cafe getting coffee, and I was like, he's back. I remember him.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's kind of cool they brought him back. What did you think of Muncher? He's kind of like the Slimer of this one.
I just want to say, at first I thought, oh cool, Slimer, and then like, oh no, you don't look like Slimer. And then like, oh, okay, I got it now. You're let's call it the new Slimer, I don't know. But yeah, it was okay. One thing, when I was in the movie, it really confused me. But only for, it was like maybe 5 seconds. Because after the movie and the credits rolled, I was like, I think there will be a mid-credit scene or something. I better sit in my seat and just wait a little bit. And then all the names showed up on the screen. I was like, oh yeah, Dan Aykroyd, of course, was in it. Bill Murray and yada yada. And Sigourney Weaver. And I was like, wait a second. Did I miss Sigourney Weaver? How could I miss Sigourney Weaver? And then there was this mid-credit scene with Sigourney Weaver and Bill Murray. And what's it called? The card test? The psychic card test?
Yeah, where she finds out where the truth comes out that he labeled them.
This was a cute scene. I liked it.
It was cute, and I agree with you on it too. When you're watching the trailer, or not the trailer, sorry, the end credits, and then they say her name, you're like, "Wait, did I miss her?" And then, okay, there she is. She looks great too.
Oh
Looks
yeah,
super good.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely does.
It's just, you know what? Overall, like I said, I still like the movie. I still found it very entertaining. Do I like it better than the first one? Hell no.
I think you can't really compare it to the first one because it's always hard to compete with the movie that made such a strong first impression. Like, it doesn't really matter which movie it is. Is it the first Star Wars, the first Ghostbusters, the first, I don't know, Nightmare on Elm Street movie? The first ones are always the movies that make the most impressions because they lay the foundation for everything else. And this is, I think, why we are always biased when we say, oh, this movie is good, but it isn't like the OG. Well, of course it is not like the OG. Because it doesn't matter if it's a reboot or a sequel or whatnot, it can't surprise us anymore like the OG did with its originality, its story, its characters and whatnot.
True.
So yeah, it's, of course it's not as good as the OG movie, but it's still, I think, of all the, let's say 4 movies, because let's just count the all girls Ghostbusters movie in, I think it's the second best one. Even better than Ghostbusters 2.
What?
Yeah. And Ghostbusters 2 was okay, to be honest, but it wasn't as good anymore as the first one, like, for the reasons I just said. And the what do we call it? Requel, reboot, sequel, whatever this one was, like Afterlife. It felt a little bit more fresh, and although it had the same core as its OG movie, it still felt fresh and original. I think that the sequel was like, yeah, it's cute, but I don't know. Even the villain was a little bit like meh. I can't
My
really
mouth. My
remember
mouth.
his name anymore.
My mouth dropped, just so you know.
It's good.
Oh, I still love, obviously, the OG is my favorite. Then the second one. Then this reboot. This new, like the new version, Afterlife. And then I don't absolutely hate the 2016. Like, I joke around and say, let's never talk about it again. It's not bad, but I don't really compare it to being like on that. Because I feel like it reminds me of Saturday Night Live. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it's the characters for Saturday Night Live. Like, it reminds me of like the character sketch.
I think that's the problem I had with this movie, because Ghostbusters is not Saturday Night Live, and even though, yeah, I got it, they tried it to be more, I don't know, let's call it funny, but no. It's like everybody is a comedian, everybody cracks jokes, and not even good jokes, to be honest. And the most annoying person in this movie was, for me, what's his name? Chris Hemsworth.
I didn't mind his character. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, he had his moments, but when he forgot how to basically function as a human, it's like, okay, this is on a level with what are the movies called? The Friedberg and Seltzer parody movies, like Date Movie and all this other shit with just bad jokes. And it felt like that, so I didn't like it at all.
Well, to each his own, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, do you think there's going to be they're going to continue on with these kids as Ghostbusters?
I I asked myself the same question when I went out of the theater and was like, I think maybe. It. I think they wait and see how the critical response is, I think. Then they look and see how the sales of Blu-rays and everything, maybe even merchandise is. I don't know if they have any merchandise for Afterlife yet, but probably a lot of the little Stay Puft Marshmallow Mans. And then maybe in I call 5 years, maybe another sequel comes out. We'll see.
Okay, well, we'll see. So until then,
So what do you think? Sequel? Yes? No? Maybe?
I think if they do and they keep on with these kids, definitely do it. I don't want them to like bring on like you know what I mean. Okay, in this movie, we'll have this old G Ghostbuster. It's just if they're gonna do it, then just keep on with the kids. Like, don't just you know what I mean. But like, I kind of hope they just leave it as is because I like how it ended. It's good. It's done, kind of a thing. But you and I both know Hollywood studios or will just be like, you know what, this made so much money. A lot of people like it. We're going to give you another one. So definitely, I think there's going to be another one with the new generation.
Yeah, I kind of hope there's another one, but we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But then, yeah. So is there anything else that you would like to say?
Let me think about it. Not really. I think we covered everything, like the goods, the bads, the comparisons to the OG one.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think we really covered everything. Do you have any additions to our little
No,
review?
not that I can think of.
Do you have any rating for this movie?
Yeah, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought
Like,
the same thing.
although it's not the highest rating as my OG Ghostbusters that I absolutely love, it's still
Obviously.
I still found it very entertaining. And you know what? When it does come out, I will get the hard copy of it.
Oh, I already pre-ordered the steelbook.
Did you really?
Yes, because it
That's
has.
awesome.
I send you a picture later because the steelbook is like the Ecto 1 driving through the cornfield, and it's like only the front of the Ecto 1 while driving through it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like this design. I was like, oh yeah, give it to me now.
See? So,
So
yeah.
any other movies that are coming up in, let's say, maybe a month or so you are excited for?
The Matrix. We'll do a review on that
Duh.
one. And you know what? Like, I'm kind of excited at Spider-Man. I kind of want to see it. See what they do with that.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of torn because the Marvel movies kind of annoy me a little bit lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's it called? I watched Black Widow, I think, in theaters a few months ago, and I was like, meh, I don't know. It wasn't really good for me, to be honest. It was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then I think it was yesterday when we talked and I told you I was watching Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed this one. This was pretty entertaining. But I also heard nothing really good about what's the new movie called? The Eternals.
Yeah, I heard some people thought it was okay. People that I saw watch it. Oh.
Yeah. So to be honest, I'm hyped for Spider-Man after I saw this newest trailer
Mm-hmm.
a week ago, maybe. I was like, ooh, yeah, that's interesting. And of course, I'm
Well,
hyped.
I was just gonna say I just got your photo. That's nice.
Yeah, told you. And of course, I'm excited, yes, but there's a little bit of hesitation with my hype in my back head for Matrix 4.
Yeah, because the way how they end it, because I've been rewatching them, and I watched the final one last night, and the way how they end it,
Yeah.
it left it open to the possibility that he could come back, and so I wonder how they're going to take this. Kind of funny. I sent you what my brother had said
Yeah.
when he had just found out the other day. So there's a fourth Matrix. I'm like, yeah. I was like, where have you been? And then I sent him the trailer, and he was like, wait a minute. There's Morpheus isn't Morpheus. He's like, that's bull. And I was just like, oh god. I wonder if it's like kind of like one of those glitches, kind of like in the movie where where the Oracle changed, like she changes appearance because well, sadly the original Oracle had passed away. So I wonder if they did something like that. But
you know
we'll have to wait and see.
You know what would be funny? If Neo goes back into the Matrix because someone killed his dog.
He does look like John Wick, but it's so funny because people are like, it looks like John Wick is Neo, and I'm like, well,
he looks.
I said I don't, right? I'm like, I think it's probably because but when he was doing this, they were filming John Wick, so I don't think he could have shaved or anything. So
I think I know how. I mean, I don't think it's accurate anymore, but I think the original plan was to release John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 on the same day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How this would be somewhat... Can you imagine like a shared universe between Matrix and John Wick? This would be so awesome.
I just looked to see when it comes out, and it's opening on December 22nd here.
Yes.
But I think I'm working an evening shift, so I don't know if I can watch it. I'll have to wait on my day off. No. And avoid spoilers and no streaming.
Yeah, again, I try to buy my ticket as soon as I can, and if I watch it before you, then obviously I don't spoil anything.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Like it's the same thing when you ask me, how did you like the Ghostbusters movie, because I watched it before you. I was like, yeah, it was good. Oh no, you didn't like it, you're not overly excited about it. Oh no, what happened, what went wrong? And I think it took, I don't know, 4 or 5 messages to calm you down to, hey, it's a good movie, relax.
Well, no, because I know you, when you see a movie, you get like overly excited, and then you're like, yeah, it was good. I'm like, oh no. It was bad. I don't believe you.
No, I usually say, when I like the movie, I say it's good to not spoil anything, like, oh my god, this is the best movie I've ever seen. So like, it was good, so I liked it. And if I didn't like it, it was like, yeah, it was okay or meh. This is my indication of don't get your hopes up too high.
But you could have been like faking it. And it was kind of funny because you said that, and then Matt from the other podcast, from what I watched tonight, was like, he was super excited with it being done. And then he was like, I'm so excited and jealous that you're going to go watch it, even though I just left the theater. And so I was like, okay, so I kind of got like 2 review-ishes on it. One really liked it, and one just seemed like he just said it was good. And I was like, wait, so is it okay? Is it like... So, yeah.
Yeah,
that.
I try to not influence your opinion about this movie too much. So that's basically, even if I watch, I just want to say John Wick 4, Matrix 4 before you, and you ask me, and how did you like it? And then I think like, it was the best movie ever made. I would be like, yeah, it was okay. Or it was like, good. So, yeah, just so you don't get your hopes up or anything, and then be disappointed because you have a different movie taste or whatever.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Alrighty, so I guess that's it.
Important question though before we end it. should we do a Matrix 4 review as well when it comes out?
I said we would. Did you? I think you
Really?
missed that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I did. Okay, question answered. That was easy.
I said we would. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, well, so that's okay.
Yeah, I'm old. I forget things.
I know, I'm a lot older. I
Yeah.
know. You're old.
You said it. You're older.
No, I said a lot older.
Yeah, you are older. That's true.
All right, then. So until the Matrix.
Until the Matrix. Bye.
Bye.